Kính mời đại chúng niệm Phật cầu gia bị. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Tác đại chứng minh. Kính thưa toàn thể hội chúng, kính thưa toàn thể quý khán thính giả đang hiện diện online trên Bồ Đề Phật Quốc TV và các băng tần truyền thông của Bồ Đề Phật Quốc. Hôm nay là ngày thứ hai, Đại học Sakya Buddha tiếp tục bảo vệ luận án của các sinh viên tiếp theo. Chúng ta hôm nay có nghiên cứu sinh thạc sĩ Duyen Trần, Bách Vuong và Tùng Đăng là ba vị sinh viên tiếp tục với bữa thứ hai của chương trình bảo vệ luận án, chương trình Master trước học Phật giáo. Hôm nay hiệu trưởng của chúng ta đó là giáo sư Victor và có các vị giáo sư giám khảo, giáo sư John và giáo sư Gupta. Xin đại chúng cho một đàn pháo tay. Bây giờ xin mời đại chúng ngồi xuống và xin mời quý vị nghe báo về luận án đầu tiên, đó là Duyen Trần lên ở trên bục giảng.
Dear the Master, dear Professor, dear everybody present today. My name is Duyen Tran. Today, my thesis presentation, my topic is comparing the Buddha's teachings in the Lotus Sutra and Mahaparinirvana Sutra. My thesis includes 5 chapters. Chapter 1, Introduction. Chapter 2, Literature Review. Chapter 3, the Buddha's teaching in the Lotus Sutra and the Mahaparinirvana Sutra. Chapter 4, Findings and compare the two sutras. Chapter 5, Conclusion. Today, I focus on chapter 4 and 5, which cover the following topics. 1. Similarity between the Lotus Sutra and the Mahaparinirvana Sutra. 2. Translation. 3. Difference between the two sutras. 4. Findings in the study of the topic. 5. Solving the search question of the project. And 6. Future research. Similarity. All sentient beings have a Buddha nature. The Lotus Sutra and the Mahabharinivana Sutra were preached by the Buddha at the end of his life. The basic teaching of these two sutras is all sentient beings have a Buddha nature. This means that all sentient beings can become Buddha, which is the goal on the path of cultivation. The Dharma body of the Buddha is indestructible. The Dharma body of the Buddha is indestructible. To understand this, the Buddha distinguishes that the sentient beings have three types of bodies: the reward body, the reflection body, and the Dharma body. Reward body is the body obtained from parents and merit created in previous life. For example, Buddha has 32 good features and 80 beautiful features. The body is made up of 4 elements governed by earth, water, wind, fire. Impermanence and destruction. Reflection body is the body that reacts to different roles. Buddha have enough supernatural power to transform, appear in different realms, and preach to wonderful Dharma. Dharma body is the real body of Buddha, constant, unchanging, pure, and is Buddha nature. We also have a body like Buddha. Reward body is obtained of parents and karma consciousness. Our reflection body, when we go to school, we are professor, a student. When we come home, we are father, mother, grandmothers, father, children, etc. We also have Buddha nature, but it is hidden by affliction, lack of mindfulness. The Buddha Dharma body is constant in unchanging. The Buddha Dharma body is constant in and unchanging. The Buddha taught that to achieve this, Bodhisattva must protect all sentient beings, teach them to practice good dharmas, keep precepts, and protect the Dharma. One must use the eye of wisdom to see. The Buddha, because of many lifetimes of practicing the Bodhisattva path and protecting the Dharma, has an indestructible diamond body. The Buddha the Buddha manifests in the world to serve sentient being in the Saha world. The Buddha is like on sentient being born, having parents, having a wife and children, living home, practicing asceticism, experiencing illness, entering nirvana. On our means to teach a sentient being to awaken, escape suffering, and become Buddhas. When his teaching was preserved and transmitted forever by God and human, and manifested, he passing into nirvana. The practice of the Bodhisattva is different from that of the Sravaka or Brajaka Buddha. A Bodhisattva practices the one vehicle, doing everything for the purpose of Bodhisattva practice, not regarding affliction and hate, and Bodhisattva is born and reincarnate through the realm to teach and transform living beings. The Buddha emphasized that future disciples who preserve and propagate the sutra will be married and become Buddhas. The Buddha taught the path of practice of to all living beings, the heavens, the human realm, the three realms, and the 10 directions. So every time the Buddha preached the Dhamma, all realms gathered respectfully made offering, praise and the Buddha and asked to her the essential Dhamma. In the Bodh Sutra, in the Lotus Sutra, they assemble of a beer tied to corner of the rope. In this chapter, the 500 disciples receive prophecy. In the Mahabharinivana Sutra chapter, the nature of the Tathagata, there is the example of the poor girl who has many treasures of pure gold in her house, but does not know it. These examples on empty that all sentient beings have the previous Buddha nature, but are blind by greed, anger, and ignorance, so they do not know it, and are forced to live in poverty until someone show them the way the escape poverty. In both sutras, the first chapter, also known as the introduction chapter. Yeah. In the Lotus Sutra, there is the interesting chapter. In the Mahabharinivana Sutra, have a final teaching. I talk about translation. Most translators, when translating the two sutras, rely on Kumarajiva's translation from Sanskrit to Chinese. Eastern translators usually translate the anti-sutra. Some translators also add explanation to help students to the sutra understand the meaning of the sutra thoroughly. Such as Venerable Master Huân Hoa, who translated the lecture on the Lotus Sutra in 5 volumes. Or Venerable Master Lý Quyền Châu spent 126 hours lecturing on the Lotus Sutra. Western author, the Lotus Sutra was the first Buddhist sutra to be translated from Sanskrit to French. But there are also some people who choose to translate the main part, such as Stephen Hawke, who translated the Mahabharinivana Sutra to the form of man excerpt. Or Donald Lopez, he wrote a biography of the Lotus Sutra from India to China to Japan, across the Atlantic to the Pacific. Extremely lively and interesting. I talk about difference between two sutras. In both sutras, the Buddha used example to clearly illustrate what he wanted to say. However, in the Lotus Sutra, the Buddha analyze the example in each chapter. There are 7 main examples in total. In the Mahabharinivana Sutra, the Buddha gave a countless small example to explain each teaching. I read I read more than 25 small examples so that the listener can visualize the Dharma as pure. Or can read more than 80 examples for explain about liberation in the Mahaparinirvana Sutra. Regarding the 10 titles of the Buddha, in the Lotus Sutra, the Buddha chanted them before introducing the Buddha in the past, or the Buddha who had been prophesied to become the Buddha in the future. And they can be count more than 15 times in the sutra. In the Mahaparinirvana Sutra, the Buddha chanted this title only a few times, or only some of the 10 titles. In the Mahaparinirvana Sutra, mention many people who do not have any good roots and therefore do not want to or are unable to understand the wonderful things in the sutra. However, even Ichantikas have Buddha nature. I talk about findings. The Lotus Sutra and the Mahaparinirvana Sutra systematic and edit based on the content of the Buddha's teaching in the last 80 years before 8 years before he entered Nirvana. There are two massive sutras in the Mahayana canon containing immeasurable and profound meaning. In many lifetimes of practice, Sakya Muni Buddha was a Bodhisattva who went through many lifetimes of practice with a diligent mind, and in the present life, his last life, he attained Nirvana. The Buddha gave us the lesson about diligent through the four right efforts. The reason the Buddha appeared in the world was for only one thing: to teach a sentient being to release the wisdom of the Buddha. This is a profound Dharma, difficult to understand, so it's easy to have a doubt. Living beings have a different karma, so the nature are also different. While people must use many men to guide them, the Buddha's teaching are always in the context and specific object and bring benefit to that object. Prophecy is the work of the Buddhas of the 10 directions. It is the confirmation of the merit and achievement of the disciples' practice. Prophecy does not mean a gift. The Buddha prophecy because that person deserves to receive the result of his practice. The Buddha see the potential with their wisdom, just like an experienced gardener can see the fruit that will bloom in the future by looking at a sprouting seed. There are two types of merit: leaking merit and liberating merit. Leaking merit brings a worldly blessing, staying in the world to enjoy blessing, accepting the cycle of birth and death. Only the blessing of liberation is a blessing that transcend the world, leaving birth and death, becoming a fully enlightened one. Those who decide, practice according to the sutras have immeasurable merit, because that is the act of giving Dharma. The name of each Bodhisattva speak of their practice. The long and wide tongue of the Buddha does not mean material, but refer to the sound of the Buddha's Dhamma. The Buddha's teaching are the truth. So they conquer all sentient beings. Words that can convince others or people with the power of the tongue. So even if there is time and space, they are still persuasive. Today, Buddhism has an influence across the 5 continents, showing that the Buddha's teaching come from the words and an enlightened being full of wisdom of the persuasiveness. The era we are living in is called the Dharma ending age. That is the era when the Buddha Dharma is about to be destroyed. However, if that Dharma is still studied and practiced by many people, then the Buddha's teaching will forever resonate. And the Buddha Dharma will continue to be propagated. When the Buddha Dharma is propagated everywhere, the tongue spread out, great extraordinary power, transforming ignorance into enlightenment, transform ordinary people into saints. That is the supernatural power of the Buddha long and wide tongue. The Buddha trusted countless great bodhisattvas, so he entrusted them with the responsibility of unfolding, reciting, and read the sutras of all sentient beings to her and practice so that they can attain the Buddhist wisdom. The Buddha is the great giver. I continue with conclusion. Address the research question of the progress. 1. Why are the Lotus Sutra and the Mahabharinivana Sutra called the King of Sutra? The Lotus Sutra is considered the best of all sutras because it teaches the method of practice to create pure merit, the method to liberation. The Mahabharinivana Sutra is the synthesis of all the methods of practice, answering on the question of the leading Bodhisattva. Number 2. Why is it said that the Buddha's wisdom is the wisdom without a teacher? The Buddha's wisdom is the wisdom that knows everything, called the omniscient wisdom. This wisdom is nature wisdom, often taught the inner strength of practice developed from within each person. The Buddha practiced the Dharma of unsurpassed perfect enlightenment for countless eons. He practiced and realized by himself without a teacher. He is a wisdom without a teacher. Number 3. Why not call the Buddha a religious leader? Most religions require followers to worship the religious leader. A follower is always a follower. No follower is equal to the religious leader. While the Buddha declared, all sentient beings have a Buddha nature. I am a realized Buddha. Sentient beings are Buddhas to the realized. Number 4. Why the Buddha entered his teaching to Bodhisattvas in the Saha world and cannot to Bodhisattva from outside? This is to emphasize the need to rely on oneself from within. not to rely on external force. The role of the Bodhisattvas is to vow to do everything for the purpose of saving sentient beings as well as saving oneself. Enlightenment of others, and perfect enlightenment. Number 5. What does it mean be reciting, copying, and preaching the sutras? Receiving and affirming mean reserving, learning, and following. Reading the sutra means reading the sutra repeatedly every day to memorize. Copy means accurately rewriting the sutra to widely disseminate to many. Preaching is to clearly understand the meaning of the sutras, to read them clearly and accurately so that listener can practice them. If one does not do this completely, it is like a sick person who only looks at and counts the medicine without taking it and will never recover. The last one, future research. Continuing to study the inseparable connection of the fundamental teaching fully expressed in the Mahayana Sutras. I have finished presenting basics of my thesis. Thank you all for your listen.
Thank you very much, Duyen. So we'll take a few minutes to record our scores, and then we'll ask you some questions.
Yeah.
So one question I had when I was reading your thesis, I noticed that you had a section with different Tibetan teachers where you would talk about different Tibetan teachers talking about these sutras. So I was wondering, did you have any favorite Tibetan teacher? Which one jumped out at you the most?
Could you speak clearly?
Sure. In reading your thesis, you had one section where you talk about Tibetan teacher, different Tibetan teachers, talking about the Lotus Sutra, talking about the Mahaparinirvana Sutra. And I was wondering, did you have a favorite Tibetan teacher that you read about?
Yeah. the Tibetan teacher learn about the Buddha nature, the Buddha nature, and they understand about the Buddha nature in the inside, not outside. Inside, not outside. With the meditation, and they understand about the Buddha nature. Yeah.
Another question I have was, how did you pick this topic? What led you to pick this topic?
My topic. My topic is comparing.
Oh, I'm saying, why did you choose this topic?
Because I learned in the advanced class. I hear a lot of master spread about Lotus Sutra and Mahabharata Sutra, and I interesting about the topic, and I choose the topic. I want to learn more. Because each one I read the Buddha Dharma. I think I have a new thing about the example in the Lotus Sutra, and the Mahabharata Sutra is a lesson about the Buddha when he's already anti-nirvana. It's my in my love about this, and I see two sutras because the Buddha taught in the 8 year before he's enter nirvana. It's the own the teaching for everybody. It's a lesson. The last lesson is to help everybody go to the nirvana, the same hymn. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Other people from the panel, you have questions? No? Okay. I just want to say your Vietnamese is much better than your English is much better than my Vietnamese. There's no way I could stand up and talk for 30 minutes in Vietnamese.
Yeah.
So good job with strong, takes a lot of courage to do it.
I'm sorry because I talk not good. I thank you for your efforts. Listen. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, Venerable Master and monks and nuns. Good evening, Professor in the approved thesis committee, and all the audience and classmates. Sorry for delay, so this is a technical issue. Today, I present the topic that is Dharma, understanding the Buddha teaching and their application in daily life. Yeah. My thinking, there are the three reasons I chose this topic. The first one is compassion. The emphasis on compassion, kindness, and non-harm. It showed something, it touched something, the pure of the human heart. The second reason is trust in direct experience. The Buddha encouraged people not to blindly believe, but to test the teaching in their own lives. And the third one, there are sweetness in the Dharma teaching. The Dharma is sweet in the beginning, sweet in the middle, and sweet in the end. It that signifies the sutta is attractive at the start. So that those are reasons that I chose the topic here. Now I talk to the background. The teaching of the Buddha, collectively known as the Dharma, provide a profound framework for understanding the nature of existence and attaining spiritual liberation. Rooted in key doctrines such as the Four Noble Truths, which diagnose the existence of suffering and prescribe a path to its cessation, and the Eightfold Path, which offers ethical and mental disciplines for personal transformation. The Dharma serves as a timeless guide to human well-being. Despite originating over 2,500 years ago in ancient Asia, but Buddhist philosophy continues to inspire seekers across the different culture and belief system, proving its universal relevance in addressing the fundamental challenge of life. The application of Dharma is often associated with monastic tradition, deep meditation, and renunciation. However, its principles are equally valuable for lay practitioners, influencing everyday experience such as relationship, career choices, emotional regulation, personal development. Today, in today's fast-paced world, where stress, uncertainty, and material distraction often lead to anxiety and dissatisfaction. Now we talk about the core teaching of the Dharma, that is the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. The Four Noble Truths form the cornerstone of Buddhist philosophy. The first one, dukkha. Life is characterized by suffering and dissatisfaction. The second one, samudaya, the origin of suffering, lies in craving and attachment. The third one, nirodha, the cessation of suffering is possible through the elimination of craving. And the fourth, magga, the Eightfold Path provide practical framework for overcoming suffering. The Eightfold Path, the Four Noble Truths, including right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. And also it can be usually divided into three categories. The first one is wisdom, prajna, right view, understanding the nature of things, especially the Four Noble Truths. Right intention, avoiding harmful thoughts like hatred, attachment, and harmful intent. The second category, ethical conduct or sila. Right speech, avoiding verbal misdeeds like lying, harsh speech, and gossip. Right action, avoiding physical misdeeds like killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, cultivating kindness, honesty, and respect for belongings of others. Right livelihood, avoiding trades that harm others, like selling weapons, slavery, and intoxicants or poison. The third category, mental discipline, samadhi, right effort, abandoning negative state of mind and cultivating positive ones. Right mindfulness, being aware of body, feelings, thoughts, and the world around us. Right mindfulness. Now, right concentration, that developing single-mindedness. The Buddha taught that by living ethically, practicing meditation and developing wisdom and compassion, people can end suffering. We have three research questions for the topic. The first one, how can individuals apply the Dharma in everyday decision making? Second, how does mindfulness enhance emotional intelligence and mental clarity? What role, the third one, what role does the Buddhist ethics play in fostering compassionate communication and ethical leadership? Methodology. The research employs a literary analysis drawing from primary Buddhist texts such as the Pali Canon and secondary sources, including commentary and modern interpretations, focusing on the Four Truths and the Eightfold Path. 3 case studies. From the case study in spiritual care, edited by George Fitzgerald and Steve Nolan, and one that is from my life in the prison of the Vietnamese communists almost 10 years, when they invaded the south of Vietnam. These will serve as examples, illustrate the practical application of this teaching. To answer the answer for the 3 questions, the first one, how can individuals apply the Dharma in everyday decision making. This was answer to the 3 case study given in the project in chapter 3. But here I use the case study from my life experience in the prison of the communists. Let me go here. Case study. That is the story of individuals who have embraced Dharma to overcome personal challenges and achieve a balanced life. The story that follows is from my life experience in the Vietnamese communist prison. Describe the nature of suffering. First one, the reason why being in the prison. On April 1975, the communist north of Vietnam invaded the south of Vietnam. They bring the misery to the south of Vietnam and then ship all the resources in the south to the north. They have a force, 100,000 of soldiers and officials of the previous regime into prisons. And the living of the people has been turned upside down. That caused diaspora, the boaty people, to escape out at sea. At that time, I was still teaching civil engineering at the National Center of Technology. I thought to myself, I can stand this situation. So I joined the group of intellectuals headed by Dr. Đăng, who is the director of Chợ Giấy Hospital. I have sacrificed my youth and my family behind, because at that time I was 31 years old, still young and vigorous. So, but I can sit idling, witnessing the aggressor doing. I also sacrificed my career as a professor, teaching civil engineering at the Civil Engineer University of the National Center of Technology, Phú Thọ District, Saigon City. I was arrested on November 1976. And they put me in the prison almost 10 years. The first confinement place was a residence that they occupy from the inhabitant. Here, 3 guys start beating me. They punch, they kick for about 15 to 20 minutes or so, cause pain to my whole body. That lasts for almost 1 year. But fortunately, internal injury was not found later. And from there, I was transferred to other 6 locations, prisons, including prison and concentration camps. Now we describe the immediate cause of suffering. Attachment. Of course, for being apart from the old home, the attachment of the homesick happened. And then the attachment of the teaching, the most attachment is the food, because we are hungry all the time, hungry all the time. In the camps at Phú Khánh, I believe. So but when I think of the other suffering, it is tremendous and incredible. So that's my attachment has been diminished, and sometimes it disappears. Aversion, of course, most people, or if any, all the people do not like the communists. But we have a pity on them because of the ignorance. They cannot do otherwise. Joy. By the law of cause and effect, I'm happy paying my karmic action from my previous life. Despite I volunteer to join the movement against the communist government. So that is the right view and all right understand of the Eightfold Path. And the path, I absorb the Dharma teaching, especially the non-dual concept. I practice meditation, so I feel relaxed, and then I overcome the trauma from the imprisonment of the under the horrible condition in the Vietnamese communist prison. That is the crucial point. I can write this thesis complete. So I'm grateful to the Buddha teaching. Now we return to the second question. How does mindfulness enhance emotional intelligence and mental clarity? Mindfulness allows for direct perception of the 3 marks of existence: impermanence, suffering, and non-self. This clarity undermines ignorance, the root of suffering. Mindfulness cultivates emotional intelligence by fostering non-reactive awareness, compassion, and insight into feelings. It develops mental clarity by purifying the mind of distraction and delusion, allowing the direct insight into reality and ultimately supporting liberation. Number 3, what role does the Buddhist ethic play in fostering compassionate communication, and ethical leadership. Buddhist ethics play a foundational role in fostering compassionate communication and ethical leadership, both in Dharma teaching and in broader application of Buddhist practice. These ethics are profound, primarily in the 5 precepts, the Noble Eightfold Path, particularly right speech, right action, and right livelihood, and the cultivation of compassion, karuna, and loving kindness metta. In sum, Buddhist ethics form both the moral compass and method by which compassionate communication and ethical leadership arise naturally from the path of practice. Now we do the conclusion and findings. This thesis demonstrates that the teaching of the Buddha offers timeless wisdom applicable to various aspects of daily life. By embracing this teaching, individual can cultivate inner peace, ethical conduct, and meaningful relationship. In summary, the Dharma teaching serves as a timeless guide for those seeking clarity, peace, and liberation from suffering. Rooted in the Four Noble Truths, the teaching illuminates both the nature of our difficulty and the path to their end. The Noble Eightfold Path offers a balanced and holistic framework for living, a way to cultivate ethical behavior, mental discipline, and profound insight. Through practicing mindfulness, understanding impermanence, and letting go of attachment of self and desire, we begin to experience a shift in how we relate to the world and ourselves. Does not ask for blind belief, but encourage direct experience and inner transformation. Some more are finding that the contemporary interpretation and application. Dharma in daily life. Modern teachers emphasize applying Dharma not just in meditation, but in everyday actions and choices. Mindfulness of speech, compassion of relationship, ethical work, and inner awareness are seen a living embodiment of the Dharma. Secular Dharma and interfaith approaches. In recent decades, a secular approach to Dharma has emerged, especially in the West. Teachers like Stephen Batchelor advocate for pragmatic interpretation of Dharma as a philosophy for living rather than a religion. Dharma is also being integrated into interfaith dialogue, where its universal principles of compassion, impermanent mindfulness resonate with other traditions. Science and Dharma. The rise of the rise of interest in mindfulness and meditation, backed by neuroscience, has brought Dharma teaching into clinical and therapeutic settings. Mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, and related practices draw directly from Buddhist Dharma while framing them in secular terms. Scientific study validate the efficacy of meditation on mental health, attention, and emotional regulation. The last one, challenges and opportunities. While Dharma is spreading globally, it also faces challenges. Cultural translation challenge that is balancing authenticity with accessibility. Commercialization, preserving depth in a world of quick fix, mindfulness, and community, reimagining Sangha, spiritual community in online spaces and diverse society. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Bach. So we'll take a few moments to record the grade, and then we'll ask questions. So I have a question for you. So it was a very powerful talk, the way that you include your experience into the teaching, so the talk had substance. I'm curious, when did you encounter the Dharma? Did you already encounter the Dharma while you were in Vietnam, or after you came to America?
Professor. Sorry. That's a technical issue. Okay. In Vietnam, when I was in prison, I was just 31 years old. So I loved the Buddha teaching. But I really does not understand the whole thing. So when I came here in the USA, and especially when I do the inspection, that is I was a project inspector for the school district. LA school district, and I contact with laborers and all kind of people, black, white, Asian, and so. And I feel something. I have a connectedness with them, and after that, when I attend the class here, I realized the interconnectedness of the Dharma teaching. The concept interests me so much, and I love it. With that, we can practice tolerance, and we have a harmony in relationship. Interpersonal behavior. Meaning in the Vietnam, the Dharma teaching is just somewhere in my mind. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
I have one follow-up question. I was looking over your thesis, and I noticed one of the sources is Ajahn Sumedho, Four Noble Truths.
Yes.
That's one of my favorites, so I was just wondering.
Thank you, Professor.
Do you have? Is there anything about that particular book that you like, or?
Yes, I probably to write this thesis. I read at least 5 books regarding the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. The book I like the most is written by Rahula. That I believe the son of Buddha, right?
Walpola Rahula,
Yeah.
What the Buddha Taught?
Yes.
Right.
And
Yeah,
what
that
the
is
Buddha taught.
a classic.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor.
Do other people on the panel have questions?
There are similarities between Buddhist ethics and ethics of the world, from various traditions. How is it significant for a Buddhist to follow a specific course of action or to take a specific or a significant measure to counteract a given situation? For example, do you think these principles that we find in Buddhism are categorical or hypothetical? Meaning, are they set in stone, or do you change from time to time, occasion to occasion, situation to situation? So, if there is a child with you and someone is attacking and you are into non-violence,
Yes.
would you kill the other to save the child?
You mean the impermanence or something else? I do not understand the whole thing of your question, Professor.
You're not supposed to kill.
Oh,
So
that
what
is
would
the
you do in a
5
given-
precepts of the Buddha
Yeah,
teaching.
so what would you do in a given situation? Would you kill or you are not going to kill to save the child? One is going to die. So would you stand still, or you would take a specific measure to counteract that situation?
I believe this question is have two means. One is regarding spiritual, and the other is regarding the physical. It depends on the child. We can diagnose what problem, what issue with the child. And the first thing we have in our mind, that we have a duty to save the life of the child. Is that I answer?
So you will kill the other.
No. Both. We can, because the Buddha taught us not hurt any beings. So, because I do not understand why thoroughly
I'm
of
trying
your
to
question.
understand these moral principles, whether they are set in stone, that means you could never break them if you really want to be on the path, or you can, depending on the factors and situations you're facing at a given time. So killing is wrong, but it seems like under certain situations we have to kill.
Like the classic is, if you could kill Hitler, would you kill Hitler? That's the classic.
That is a very hard situation. But the main thing is
So-
you better not hurting any beings. on any circumstances. That is the key teaching of the 5 precepts of the Buddha teaching.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, thanks. So, Bach, thank you very much for your presentation. And of course, other people have not read your dissertation. And they have not read your dissertation yet. So, one of your main pieces was how you transform. How did you, maybe you speak for the audience, how you managed to transform your anger into forgiveness?
The first thing I observed the forgiveness first, and then the anger. We try. That is that we have to practice a lot regarding mindfulness meditation. So in order we can avoid in any circumstance regarding anger or unhappy with something not in your way, in your way of life. And then we keep our mind still calm and peaceful before the hardship or the anything against your will or your intention. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor.
Okay, so we'll take a short break and then the final presentation for the evening.
Present the Four Noble Truths, the nature of suffering. My name is Tung, Đăng, and I hope that after this presentation, it offers some kind of understanding about suffering that can help us go through in our daily life. This is the overview that I'm going to go through the background, the research, and the gap contribution. The research question, the methodology, the Nikaya, the Samutta Nikaya SN 56.11, the Four Noble Truths, the cause and effects in the Four Noble Truths, the 12 point, the Samutta Nikaya 12.1, the link of the 12 links, or we call the dependent origination, Goenka Vipassana, and finding research question, and evaluation, future direction, and conclusion. For the background, why study the Four Noble Truths? So, back to the Buddha time, the Buddha, really skillful teacher. He taught a lot, but later he would always go back to the teaching of the Four Noble Truths, because this is essential teaching that provide the diagnostic of and therapeutic model for identify the problem, which we call dukkha. Also understand its cause, realize that can end, and follow the path that cessation. So it's also why study the Four Noble Truths, because the Four Noble Truths have a lot of application that's relevant to the modern life right now. For this research, I have 3 questions. The first question is, what is the causal structure of suffering? Number two, how does Goenka Vipassana use sensation to break the cycle of suffering? Number three, how can understanding suffering lead to its transformation and cessation in practice? I also, during the research, I see the gap that many scholars that just talk either the Four Noble Truths or the tolerance. So for this research, so I try to look for the common ground. Where is it? Where is the Four Noble Truths and the dependent of origination have the same point. So for methodology, so I use the text analysis and application. So I go through the SN 56.11, introduce the Four Noble Truths, and then I go to the 12.1, explain the dependent origination, and then applied lens, I use Goenka Vipassana. The book, we use chapter 5, day 5, discourse of the discourse summaries of S.N. Goenka. So, what is the Four Noble Truths? As we have seen that the human have problem, the problem of suffering, the problem of dukkha, and then the inquiry why we and how we look for the cause of it. That is like the second noble truth. And if there is a cause, can it be eliminated or ended? It's like the third noble truth. And if we know, if we want to eliminate it, so how we do it? We must have a way. That's the Eightfold Path. So this is the logic. It's like the modern life right now. The doctor who treat a patient, right? So, hey, doctor say, all right, I know the patient could see doctor. Doctor say, okay, let me see. All right, I know you're sick. And then doctor say, okay, he investigated. He said, all right, I know the cause of it. Like a third noble truth. No, that's not, sorry, the second noble truth. And then the doctor say, okay, your disease, based on my study, you okay, I can cure for you. That's the third noble truth. And then the doctor prescribed the medication to cure the disease. That is like the Four Noble Truths. This is, I am an engineer. I look at this one, wow, this is a little logic. This is solid, really solid structure that I think it lasts for 2,500 years and will last for another 1,000 years because it's real logic. There's no way that go wrong because cause, effect, cause and effect. So I love this structure as an engineer. So, having said that, because it's a logic based on what? I search and I say, oh, okay, this is the logic based on the cause and effect. So, the cause, the first noble truth lies a sickness, where I am sick, and then what caused it? So that is the origin of suffering, or we call the second noble truth. And there's two pairs, right? The first pair and the second pair. So pair two also cause the effect. So the effect is the third number 2, the cessation of suffering. And the cause is the path, the Eightfold Path that helps to eliminate the cause. So, like I said from the beginning, how Buddha have set in the relation between the 12 links and the Four Noble Truths. So we have seen, this is the 12 links. Start from ignorance, and then volition or choice, and go consciousness, go mind, body, go contact, go to craving, all the way to old age, death. Right here is the suffering started. Because of what? Because of sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress. So, for this logic, also cause effect, like cause effect. I think the Buddha really a great teacher, that not only a teacher but a scientist, that who structured that the way really logic, no one can break it until now. Based on the 12 links, so Goenka view use this link to invent a method to end suffering, right? How? So he also looked at the he reworks it, right? He go for this is the Buddha. The Buddha said, if we reverse the 12 links, we start from old age, because of old age. The reason we have old age and death because rebirth, because we have rebirth, and then because of becoming. All right, becoming is of grasping. We go back go to ignorance. So this is the root cause of suffering. The immediate cause is craving, but the root cause, the ultimate cause is ignorance. All right. Right here I put the because of ignorance, we attach to views, we attach to ideal, we attach to the 5 areas, what is the form, the feeling, mental formation. We attach to sensual desire, we attach to a lot of things. That is the problem of human, because we attach. When we attach, we, like right here, right? Because of this, it called craving. Because of attach, it causes it. So, I think I get a quote from the book, The 5 Discourses. So, attached to what is impermanent is bound to bring misery. This is true. Because everything in this world is impermanent. Because we don't have enough wisdom to look the real reality of everything. We just look at the surface, right? The surface outside. Oh, this is me. This is my computer. This is my house. This is my country, this is my whatever. But because of that identity, we attach to that. That's what makes us suffer. So, how we are going to get rid of attachment? Only one thing is the wisdom, and the wisdom will help us. So now I'm going to Goenka Vipassana. I read this book. It's the first time I used to, I practice meditation every day. And I've been vegetarian for 31 years. This is the first time when I studied this with this school with Dr. Fries. He introduced Goenka. Well, I say, wow, this is a good technique that help to reduce suffering. How does Goenka use the 12 links to help us to identify where is the suffering started. All right. So hey, look at the 12 links. Let me go back a little bit. All right, right here. So can I go back here? If we look at the 12 links, this link, if we break any point, the suffering will end. Right? If we break right here, okay. So for Goenka, he said, can we break right here? Nope, because we only have the body. So can we have a break right here? It's no again, right here. So if we break at the link mind body, we have the body except we suicide, right? We don't want that. The sixth sense is too late because all sense we have all sense already. We cannot break it. Can we break at the contact? Nope. Because we have sixth sense, and then the sixth sense see objects out in the world. There's no way. How about sensation? And based on Goenka, he said yes. This is a choice. It's not the best. All right. This is a choice we can break right here, and it's possible. And how? He said that now here, at the link of sensation, one can break the chain, and then he teach how to break it. Such don't read like I don't want to go deep in because I'm not master of and research. Right? I don't want to go deep into how, but I read the book and real logic. First, if we have the sensation come up, right? He said, don't react with that sensation. Look at it with equanimity, ubeka. Let go. Don't cling. Don't pull because that's craving. Don't push. That's aversion. Just let it be. That's so new to me. Wow, this is the first time I see that. I used to breathe in, breathe out. That's how I do every day. But this is really touch me. And then he says, don't react, just observe with equanimity and understand that everything is impermanent. It will change. If I am sorrow or I'm suffered yesterday, it's past, right? It's impermanent because everything is impermanent, includes sensation. So if we understand the impermanent of everything, we are fine, we're okay. So, and this is the touch point too. He said that once we just observe the sensation with equanimity, and that sensation will become wisdom. Wow, how? I never practiced, I don't know. This is a theory. I promise, I will go there 10 days. This is 10 days, it's like a boot camp. People say on the internet, said like a boot camp. No internet, no contact, no everything. So I have to have this experience. Okay, how it's happened? This is this theory, but the one must be there to experience, and I don't have experience. I cannot say, but the theory looked impressive to me, really impressive, right? So because of sensation become wisdom, so realize impermanent is and suffering. How easy is that? Wow. So I'm not there yet, right? So after all those review the literature and the application taught by Ranka. So I have the final bottom here, but let me summarize first. Okay. Based on the research question and the finding alignment. Okay. So the research question number 1: what is the cause structure of suffering? The cause of structure of suffering. So I found that craving follows sensation, like the link we just saw. And then if we reverse the link, we end suffering. So for question number 2, how does Vipassana break the cycle of suffering? So I found that by observing without reaction, the suffering will end. Right. Number 3, equanimity lead to wisdom, we just said. And question number 3, how can this transform suffering? This means the technique. So based on this research, he said turn the sensation into gateway to insight. But as a normal person, we do opposite. When we see sensation, we react. That's why we suffer. But based on teaching said, use the suffer as a material and look at it with equanimity and turn it into wisdom. This is really interesting. Okay. This is the finding. I just summarize. This is the sensation precede the craving. Go ahead. Okay, that. Okay, this. Let me discuss a little bit. Okay. Based on the 12 links, right? We see that start from ignorance and go all the way to contact and sensation. So right there, go anchor, focus on that one. So if we know how to control or eliminate sensation, not eliminate, but observe, the term observe without reaction. So instead of creating craving, this create wisdom. Because no more craving and then no more clinging, no more becoming, no more rebirth, no more OH, and the end, no more suffering. Interesting. All right, so answer this. The next one, the fight number 4. So when we look at sensation with equanimity, mindfulness, we develop wisdom. Because we have wisdom, this ignorance will remove. Because they remove, the whole chain remove, all the way in, remove. So become emptiness. Before we have a lot of things. Now we have nothing. This research I use the early tech. I don't talk about emptiness here. I want to say this is the emptiness in Mahayana, but I do not want to say over here because it's conflict into my research. That's the next research. So it become we just see a lot of things happen right here. Suddenly, with the wisdom, we have nothing. Wow. All right. This is what I talk about. Evaluation and future direction. The strength of this research is clear explanation of suffering, its cause, cessation, the path. All right. And I see that integrate the classical doctrine with the practical. And the witness is what, like I just said, that the scope is limited to only the old text. That's why I just said I don't want to talk about emptiness right here. That's maybe for someone else do the next research. And the future direction, I recommend that investigate later Buddhist text to explore more diversity about the Four Noble Truths across all tradition, is a Mahayana, Tibet, or etc. Conclusion. The Four Noble Truths and dependent origination are the blueprints for liberation. As we just said, liberation, no more suffering, if we practice diligence. Right way, right? And number two, the Four Noble Truths and dependent origination functionally and doctrinally interconnected. Goenka Vipassana saw that sensation is a key intervention point. And that's, I finished my presentation.
Thank you very much, Tung. We'll do the grading and then ask some questions. So I had a question just for the benefit of the audience. Could you give a little more background of Goenka? Who is Goenka? What is his lineage or tradition?
I prepared this one. I guess it's the question that could be asked. Okay, Goenka was in 1924 in Burma, in Duyen, and then he authorized to teach by Sayagyi Ubakin, and then he left Bishop to move to India. He founded the first Vipassana center in Hyderabad In 1976, he opened Dharma in Giti. And from now, today, Vipassana courses in tradition of Ubakin are about 380 locations. I just downloaded this one this morning. So, and this is the link. I get this one from the link, some Wikipedias.
Right, so it's a Burmese lineage. His family is from India, but he trained in Burma and then he went back to India.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Can you go back to your slides with the 12 links and the slide with the, you had it where sensation was green.
All right, here.
Yeah, there. Okay, so if I understand you, you're saying the links that happen before sensation have already happened. We experience the result of the previous links now in our present sensations.
Right.
Okay. And then it seems like, from what I understand, it's we have sensation, and they can be pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. Then we can have craving, aversion, or ignorance that comes up from that.
Yes.
And so then the question is, do we act on it or do we let go?
Based on research, Ruenka recommend that observe, do not react. Let it be. But let it be with equanimity and mindfulness. So when look at the sensation arise, for example, like hot, cold, let it be. Let it be. If we go away, why does it go away? Because it's impermanent. It cannot last forever. It's impermanent. If we go up and go up and pass away.
Well, never mind. This is like my research is focused on this, so I could keep going forever. So
I left your paper too.
Anyway, very good job. I enjoyed it very much. Do other panelists have a question?
I need some clarifications in relation to the concepts of sensation and equanimity.
Right.
So when you're discussing sensation, you said don't react. Is the reaction that you're referring to is internal or external? Because I may not say anything to you in response to something you have done, but mentally I'm thinking about it. So I am reacting internally, but externally people will see me to be, I'm holding equanimity. So which one are you referring to? Both?
Honestly and technically, the appearance is not a true us. So like based on your question, when you pretend to be happy, but internally so suffer, that's how it translates into wisdom. Impossible. Okay. Based on the text, that must be inside happiness, not the appearance.
So I'm going to hold equanimity in relation to what just happened to me, as well as how I'm feeling, both. Am I correct? I have to be kind to myself too, as much as
I think when having said that, if I'm repeated right, internally I'm so suffer, but because of in front of people, I have to pretend to be happy. It doesn't help to transform that suffering become wisdom. There's no way.
Yeah, I get that. The third question, you mentioned wisdom. So wisdom would end these paths to suffering. I'm following that. But wisdom is theoretical. To really apply that, are you going to say that it actually changes your body sensations?
That's I'm going to attend the 10 days. I will let you know.
I can help. So we have contact. We experience sensation. It's pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Then craving, aversion, ignorance can arise. So that would be the emotion that's arising from the sensation. And then the grasping would be the action. That would be the external behavior. So first is keep your precepts and don't act. Second is work with the sensation to let go of the emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't control the emotion or reject the emotion, but you don't act on it. You go back to the sensation, and then that results in the emotion being released also.
So Dr. Frame, you must attend the 10 days already.
So these are just suggestions.
Yes. Thank you very much. Yeah. Right.
Thank you so much, Tung, for this presentation. I really like your project because usually when people write the Four Noble Truths, they rush towards the noble truth of the end of suffering and the causes of the end of suffering. They don't talk about suffering. So because I think for many commentators, talking about suffering is suffering enough, I think. So I really enjoyed the deep dive into suffering, especially in the older texts. What in the earlier texts, what does suffering mean? So how has this research changed your relationship to suffering?
This is a good question. Honestly, like I said from the beginning, I have practiced Buddhism for 30 years, and I'm a full-time vegetarian. I practice meditation every night. I don't wait until this, technically. This helped me to explore more theoretical of Buddhism. But I believe in the practice more than the theory. That's why I have been practicing for many years, even as a lay people. I'm a lay person, not a monk, but I have been practicing at home. To be honest with the question that after this research, I just joke with my friends that I might go to become a monk on Friday. But it's really touched because I see the way that Goenka proposed really a good way to stop craving without losing a lot of things. We don't lose anything. We don't lose, like we have to terminate our sense, right? Just observe it and with mindfulness, and then the suffering is gone. So I haven't practiced yet. I don't know, but I'm so happy with the theory. And to answer that question, I have to go 10 days again. I have to go there at 10 days to see what happened. But I'm so happy right now. So I'm happy. I mean, I got the tool, the new tool, to like the Buddha, right? He experienced with different teacher. At the end, he know what he going to do. So I follow the Buddha step.
Thank you.
Any other question? Okay, so we can conclude for the evening. Yes. Master Hun Chao, do you have any final words?
Rồi xong rồi, xin chúc mừng. Dạ, xin mời đại chúng đứng lên, chúng ta hồi hướng. Chúng sinh vô biên thể nguyện độ phiền não vô tận thể pháp môn vô lượng thế nguyện học Phật đạo vô thượng nguyện thành. Rồi xin cảm ơn đại chúng rất là nhiều. Ngày mai 6 giờ 30 phút chúng ta vẫn trở lại với cái không gian này để chúng ta tiếp tục với 3 đề tài nữa. Dạ. Xin tạm biệt đại chúng.
Thank you, Professor, for teaching me. Thank you, all professors having spent time and knowledge transfer to me. I'm very appreciated. And thank you very much. Thank you very much.